Hello, everybody. So for me, this is live. For you, this is a video. This is going to be how we have to do our project Runway from now on. So that way we don't have any issues with YouTube deleting my streams midway through, and then I don't have to deal with the copyright claims and all of that good stuff. But I also am going to be doing a new feature through StreamYard, which is slides. So, like how I show you the photo, I was able to put those in, well, multiple PowerPoints, not just one, unfortunately. And I'm able to go through the photos that way with you guys via the new StreamYard feature. So, I am very, very excited. But we had an amazing Project Runway episode that came back after a holiday weekend. It was a 2-hour show. It was intense. There's a lot that happens, a lot that we're going to cover, and it was just fantastic. That's all I want to say. So, let's pull up our first PowerPoint. I'm going to add it to the stream. So here it is. Now, I'm not sure how this works, but we're going to figure it out together. So, first off, we have our contestant board, which I don't know. I just realized I don't know if they're going to show this first slide. So right now, this is our contestant board. Last time we were here, we lost Katie. So she is our newest contestant gone. These are who we have left. We have Anna, we have Chantal, we have Coral, Christina, Bones, Prajay, Aaron, Chastity, Zayden, and Octavio. So let's see if this next slide works, because it says that they don't do video format, which it's a behind the scenes from episode 6 that I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, no, it's not going to show us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and I'm just going to add the video in for you guys here. So it is a behind the scenes from episode 6, the previous one, Zayden's accessory designer. She did a how the bag came to be made a video on Instagram. And I'm going to have to mute the volume as well, because I know there is music to it. So let's see if I can mute that first. Here we go. Add to stream. I just thought this was so cool. It started out as a kitty litter plastic container, and she made it into a bag. So she's all about recycling, which I love. Now she's cutting the leather around the bag. She's going to sew it. But she's using the kitty litter as a base to hold the bag structure. She's recycling it. And I will make sure that her Instagram is linked in the description, along with her. There's the bag right there. Beautiful. So her Instagram will be linked in the description, as well as her website, where you can purchase these beautiful creations of art that she creates. I am like one of her new favorite Instagram followers. I'm just saying, I love it. So now that we have that, since they didn't want to play our video, so the slides, we can't put the videos in, which I, of course, learned that when I started this, which I had all the runway videos all in the slides. So I had to then make 7 different PowerPoints for you guys. So we will start off in the beginning of episode 7. Are you for real? That is the name of this episode. So we start off the episode with everyone at the townhouse getting ready for the day. Chastity throws out the idea, what if they have to make an unconventional dress out of vegetables? I thought that was pretty funny. And then we see Zayden in a room, and he tells us that, you know, it's tough being at the bottom, and the judges are not trying to see what you're trying to do in your artistry. We learn that coming up, Zayden has always had people telling him he isn't good enough. When he went to SCAD, he was in the business program, and he decided to switch over to the fashion design. And he remembers the professors having this look like, this is way beyond your league. So he's felt like he was not accepted. But what he has learned is to prove these people wrong and to keep going. Hell yes, Zayden. I agree completely. So then we see them running to the door because it's finally time for them to head over to the workroom. And with all them sprinting in, they are met by Christian. Which Christian has a lot of rolls of what looks to be fur all around him. Christian tells them he is standing in front of 200 yards of fabulous fur. Full fur, that is. And of course, duh, he mentions. But he tells them all that these furs are plant-based and can be recycled, which I find so freaking amazing. When have you seen a fur that you can recycle that's made of plants that look like this? It's freaking amazing. So Christian then asks if any of them have worked with fur before. And Aaron was the only one that raised his hand, and we find out that he actually just made these monkey suits for the Wizard of Oz. 16 of them, to be exact. Prajay hates fur, and he's not too excited, but he finds it to be annoying because it gets everywhere. And we will see that this fur literally went everywhere in the workroom. I wonder, so when I saw the fur everywhere, I was like, I wonder who has to clean this up. Do they have to clean it up? They probably have somebody to come in there and clean it up afterwards. But I was just thinking to myself, I wonder who cleans up this mess. So Christian explains to them that a lot of designers like Stella McCarthy, Gucci, Versace are using the faux fur in so many ways that it could be elegant, campy, sophisticated, and his personal favorite, a little trashy. Same here, Christian. This versatile texture is a basic for any avant-garde challenge that they are about to have. So, we find out it's going to be a 2-day challenge. And then he also lets them know that they will be working in teams. Yeah, Zayden, I agree. I've been looking forward to this avant-garde challenge. I kind of wanted to see their own individual artistry with the avant-garde challenge. So to have them in teams, yeah, I was a little bummed too. So, since Christina won the last challenge, she got to pick who she wanted to work with, which she picked Chantal. And everyone else must resort to the upgraded button bag picks. Oh no, we finally get to see the button bag. Finally, after how many episodes? 7? We finally get to see the button bag. So we have team one as Christina and Chantal, of course. Team two, Aaron and Bones. Team three, Anna and Octavio. Team four, Zayden and Coral. And team five, Chastity and Project, which I am excited for these teams. So after these teams were picked, Christian had them, like he had cards for the models, and they were kind of facing like downward, and he kind of just went down the line from what it looked like to me. I thought maybe it would be like button order, but it looked like he kind of just went from left to right. And they picked from the pile. And since Christina won the last challenge, her and Chantal got the first choice of the fur. So they picked the coyote. Yeah. So they picked the leopard print and another brownish coyote fur. So they got two. This kind of confused me. And I don't know if it confused anybody else, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. Then Octavio and Anna, they went and they picked the cheetah. And then we had Chastity and Project. They picked the solid pink fur. And then we had Bones, and Bones let Aaron pick, which was the coyote fur. And then we had Coral and Zayden, and they picked a pink rabbit. Oh, I gotta go to the next one. Remove. Next. They picked a pink rabbit and a cranberry rabbit. Now, this is where I was like, I kind of find it a little confusing. So they were able to like Christina and Chantal picked two, and then Zayden and Coral picked two, and then I kind of saw like a couple others have other fur choices after, but I didn't know if they were allowed to pick one or two, or they were each allowed to pick two. But from what we saw, it looked like they were allowed to pick two if they wanted, one if they wanted. So I'm kind of curious. I will ask that if I see someone go live. I know Bones went live and I totally forgot to ask him that question. I had other questions that I asked though. So after we see them pick their furs, this is where Project, oh, there they are moving it around. But Project mentions that everyone has really been waiting for this challenge, and I can agree. I've been waiting for this too, but he feels that everyone wanted to do the avant-garde challenge on their own, which I completely understand and agree. They are all amazing creative designers and also damn unique in their arts and ideas. So we see Aaron and Bones discussing their idea for their design, and Bones thinks that they should go of a Game of Thrones, and what if Darth Raki had $1 million, which I am only halfway through Game of Thrones, don't kill me. But what if he had $1 million? Make it extravagant. Aaron says he knows Bones is creative, but is it his kind of creative? No. But they are creating this prehistoric looking bridal cave woman look. We then move over to Christina and Chantal, who are making this quilted animal print textured coat with the quilted dress underneath, which I have that sketch too. That's the coat for us. So the texture coat with volume inside is the quilted dress with the details of the flowers on the top. Chantel next wants to discuss who is going to do what, because she realizes that Christina has immunity, which I understand. And if they end up in the bottom, she would be the one out. Chantel suggests that the outfit have a piece of her and a piece of Christina, because at the end, they will need to defend themselves, which she was right on the money. So Chantel asks Christina if she would be comfortable making the coat, which she agrees to. Next, we see Zayden and Coral, who are trying to figure out their silhouette of the dress and are thinking how, like, New York is so structural and they have all these high buildings. So they are thinking of doing a dress or jacket or just a dress jacket. Cora lets us know she is nervous because she usually makes gowns, and she knows with the avant-garde challenge, you need to go big and make an impression. Zayden is ready to show the world he has range with this avant-garde challenge, and he suggests being edgier. So they're going to use some utility clasp. This is the beginning. I agree. You gotta go edgy with the avant-garde. So by this time is up. We see Chastity letting everyone know that they need to head to Mood. So they get to Mood. Christian tells them they have 30 minutes to shop and a budget of $500, and they can purchase any supplemental materials that they will need to finish their look. And the hustle through Mood begins. Like 30 minutes, not a lot of time. So we see Prajay instantly going over to the paint. Now, when I was listening to the IG from Bones today, he did, Chastity was there with him, and she said there was a whole conversation before Mood and at Mood that she really wanted Prajay to show his art off. And that's kind of why he went instantly right to the paints. And he wants to do, like, they both want to do this mix of fur with the paint, because you don't usually see, art with fur, which I agree. So we get to see their preview, and hint, hint, hint. This, I've been waiting since I saw the preview for this season for this dress. Hint why it's in the thumbnail. I've been in love with this dress since the moment I saw it, and I kind of figured it was the avant-garde challenge. So I was excited to see that it was made by two people that I absolutely adore, Chastity and Prajay. So I was very happy about that. And let me just say, Mimi killed it. We'll get there though. So then we also see Octavio and Anna are discussing what they need. And Octavio tells us that him and Anna have set the avant-garde down in all the past challenges. So this is their moment, and hopefully they can make it to the top. So we see their sketch, and their sketch is a puffer sleeves with the full fur leopard, then draping a whole skirt in patent leather, and going more scary avant-garde. So this is where I have a video for us to watch. So let me add that video in for everybody, because this was a very scary part of the episode. I will say that. So if you are a little triggered by, let's just say, accidents, this is a trigger warning. So let's see. It's loading it in for us, everybody. Here we go.
I like it.
Oh, this is nice.
Okay, go.
This is 12.
They're $1?
Yes, $6.
I'm worried about the supplemental fabrics. We didn't get like anything because he had to really buy a lot of paint. I think we just got zippers.
Thank you.
All right, designers, that's time.
Thank you.
Bye, Moods.
Bye.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
So we see them getting into the bus. Okay, guys? This is where it's going to get a little scary.
Oh my God.
Glass everywhere. Everywhere. And from what Chastity said during the IG Live, her head was leaning against the window because she was sleeping. So, oh my God, there was glass all over her hair, in her hair, everywhere, she said.
On our way back from Mood, our van took a corner and scaffolding busted through one of the windows.
How does scaffolding bust through the
All I
window?
see
That's what I want to know.
Is Anna bleeding.
Glass
So.
shatters all in.
Let me pause here too. Because Chastity says in the IG Live with Bones, which I will link his Instagram below that you can watch it, that all Aaron sees is blood. From how he made it seem is that she was bleeding everywhere. There was only a little bit of blood like we see right now on her nose, and it was more in her hair and everything because her head was against the window. Yes, it's very scary, but he made it seem like it was like blood everywhere kind of in that clip.
To at a seat. Anna, we're gonna turn around slowly.
I mean, there is glass everywhere.
Off the bus, okay?
All the broken glasses fell on top of my head and my face, my body.
That's scary. Because what if the shackling went into her head? That's what I'm scared about.
When glass breaks, sometimes there are really, really tiny, tiny fine pieces that you can't see.
Yeah. So they're checking
I
everybody.
just hope everything's okay because this is completely scary.
It looked like literally, it looked like you'd get there and then pop.
I know.
Imagine watching that as it happens, not knowing it's going to happen. I mean, that's so scary. That literally is like so scary.
Hi, guys.
So this is when they're back in the workroom area.
Shaking up?
A little bit.
I think it's like maybe everybody needs a little moment to collect, take the rest of the day off, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Needed?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the good news is Anna is leaving the hospital right now. And
Yay!
she'll be at the house tonight. Tomorrow, you'll do everything, the entire challenge.
I love
But
Christian's shirt, by the way.
I know you guys can
Just
do
pointing
it.
out.
And it's going to be a really good challenge. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, Christian.
All right, guys, let's go.
So yes, they get to go home. So let's just talk about that really quick while I remove this from the studio. That was scary. I thought that was very, very, very scary. And it's just sad to see what happened to all of them. It's a scary situation. It's just, so let me get, this is where we are, where Christian is talking to them. And I'm happy that they gave them the rest of the day, but in a way that takes away from them being able to use the rest of that day to start their designs. I'm not sure how much time they would have had. I'm assuming it would be like 4 hours because that's kind of usually how many hours they have when they go back from what we've seen from past episodes. But that's 4 hours, if not more, that they lose out on putting this design together. And obviously, they're not going to let Octavio do it without Anna. I understand. I completely understand why they went home. They were all shooken up. They deserve to go home. I'm just saying, I wish that they would have given them maybe 4 extra hours somewhere for that time. Because it just didn't feel like, it felt like they were getting gypped time, in my opinion. So after all of that, they head back to the townhouse, and we see Anna coming back from the hospital. She was very lucky. Nothing bad happened to her. Just had some tiny cuts and bruises. Everyone was excited to see her and see that she was okay. Octavio was the first one to run over to her to give her a big hug. She tells us that she is still processing it in her mind, which I understand completely, and still is in shock that something like that just happened to her. And she, of course, just needs some time. And after a car accident, I watched a car flip over onto its roof. And I kept seeing that car flip over and over and over for like 4 days. And just seeing the guy, picturing everything. It's like, I wouldn't say like PTSD kind of, but like that memory. You keep feeling it and seeing it. It's like a short term kind of PTSD where you just keep playing it over and over and over again. So she is going to need some time. She is going to be out of it. So it's the next day now, and they head to the workroom. We see them running into that workroom where they have 12 hours of a working day to get these designs done, but also running to the accessory wall. So I was like, why are they all running? They're running to the accessory wall to grab those accessories, to get those accessories before other people did. So we start off with Aaron and Bones, who are creating a sculpture to hold up the collar of the back piece for their design. Bones makes it known that it is very important for a back piece to stay up. And Aaron has a very clear picture in his mind where he wants it to go. And Bones kind of feels like Aaron is leaving him to do all the busy work, like trimming a bunch of leather lace, which as a team, you kind of need to let your teammate know, this is my thought, this is what I'm going to do, you got to work together. So Aaron, who is one of the only people that have worked with fur, talks to us about how things work with fur. Some are bendy and twisty, some are solid, and they don't stretch, they don't have move. And one of the reasons he chose the coyote fur was because he knew it was going to hold its shape. Okay. And this is where we see that there seems to be a fur storm happening everywhere. It's getting everywhere, in people's eyes, mouth, nose. Ugh. Chastity said it was getting in her eyeballs, that she couldn't really talk because it was going in her mouth. She didn't want to cough up a hairball. Prajay had fur going in his nose, and Octavio couldn't believe just how much fur was coming out of these fabrics. And we see that Octavio is working on the sleeves, and Anna is working on the balloon skirt, which is very interesting. But she's using the patent leather. Next, we head over to Prajay and Chastity, who are working together to create a sculpted gown. They want to create these pillars that stand out. These pillars represent pillars of strength in rising up as a young artist designer, especially black ones, since they are both amazing black designers, people carrying the weight of the world and standing up for what they believe in. And all I will say, knowing more about this concept behind the dress, is that I freaking love it even more. Go YouTube. Show them the art and the amazing strengths that you two both have. Chantel and Christina are discussing their design, and Chantel is cutting the two kinds of fur they have into different sizes to then be able to sew them together and create like a patchwork designed coat. Christina is working on the dress, which the lining of the coat will be the same color as the dress. And Christina explains because of it being quilted that it's a lot of work, but she always likes to push herself and do her best. So the only thing that I would think, so when they said that it was going to be the same color as the dress, I loved it, but I didn't think it was going to be quilted like the dress was. I was thinking maybe it was just going to be lined with the pink, which I think that would have worked for them as well. And we see Prajay outside painting, and they have 9 hours till the end of the day. Prajay tells us that growing up in Haiti wasn't the greatest, but fashion for him was his way to escape that. And he believes in celebrating the celebration of the art that keeps us alive. Chastity goes outside to check out how Prajay is doing. She is worried it's going to look like two separate pieces at this point. Don't worry, guys. So finally, Christian comes in to see how they are doing. He asks how they are feeling, and Bones answers rushed. This is where I'm like, there's those 4 hours that they could have had, that they maybe needed, that they could have gave them, because it wasn't their fault that the car accident happened. Christian heads over to Zayden and Coral, and they show him their first sketch and discuss the structures of the buildings representing like New York City. Christian doesn't think it's avant-garde-ish and gives them the idea of maybe she's trapped in a cage, harnessed in this thing. He suggests maybe covering the arms, neck, or even face, which as soon as Christian mentioned being in a cage, Zayden thinks it's kind of a trigger for something between him and Coral, that they both are minorities, they both feel like they haven't been accepted, and he just feels like this is the perfect time to really put their DNA into this. I love it as well, and I cannot wait to see what they are going to do now. Christian then heads over to Anna and Octavio to see what they are going to do for their design and what they've started. And he starts playing with the puffer sleeves, which I think is funny. Anna shows him the skirt and the tiger tee. Or did she say teeth? I wasn't sure about that. She said tiger teeth tee. She kind of had like this big white thing that was going to go over. But Christian feels like the silhouette isn't as strong as it could be for them. And he feels like it's getting a bit too monster costume for him. He reminds them to think about how it will look when she's walking. And they have a lot to live up to, being that they are the avant-garde artists. And the judges love their work, and they need to make sure they love this one, which I completely agree. So we see Anna and Octavio going outside back to sketching again to try to figure out what they can do to fix this design. So we see this sketch, which Anna says they want to make like a corset leopard dress, but still use that dramatic puffer sleeves. We see Coral building this cage now. It's a cage headpiece, letting us know how she always has felt that she's been in a cage. We learned a little bit about Coral growing up in Taiwan and her mom as a seamstress. She recalls being so young, going to bed, falling asleep, and hearing the sound of the sewing machine and waking up to the sound of the sewing machine. And her mom actually did not want her to do anything with fashion. So she wants to show her mother that fashion is not what it was for her, and that fashion can be something beautiful, something that inspires. And I love this about Coral. Aaron and Bones are working on putting the back collar on. Bones is getting nervous about it, which Aaron reassures him it will be fine once it's on a body. Bones feels like Aaron really has not been consulting him, because he has built a bunch of these before, but he is afraid that this collar is going to be flapping and the judges won't know if it's avant-garde or avant-garbage. Which I love. I love his sayings. Bones, another amazing saying. And I was thinking to myself as I heard him say that, that would be, wink wink, another amazing saying I would buy. So I had to throw this in there for you guys. Guess what? He made it for us! Yay! My prayers came true. Thank you, my dream fairy. And if you check out the description in the link, will be there for his Spotify for you guys to buy this amazing hoodie that he created, avant-garde or avant-garbage. I'm definitely getting myself one of those for sure. I'm totally excited. Thank you, Bones, for these amazing sayings, literally. So Christian comes back in asking them if they need a model soon, which they all agree, which he then asks, well, how about a model now? And bam, the models show up. They come walking in. They all start to get their models fitted. Christian checks out Christina and Chantal's model fitting and they show him the kind of like reveal. Chantal says, it's a flower bed, which Christian replies, I don't know if it's a flower bed, but it's something. Prajay is a little taken back as well and laughs at the thought of them opening up and it doesn't look like a female. Or it does look like a female, but like opening it up and being like, bam, bitch. No. Christina loves it. So Christian just lets them know they need to think about it some. It reminds Christina she has immunity and Chantal doesn't. Finally, Chantal speaks up, thankfully, and she says, yep, and I can go and she can stay. You tell her. That's all I had to say about that. She's like, yep, So then we are Chastity and Prajay's model, who Mimi is totally digging this gown. And so am I. And she already sees herself on the runway, she says. Christian is liking it too. He just feels that they need to, maybe make a better connection between the pillars and the art. Maybe like connecting them. Prajay is finally seeing it. Like, he's finally seeing Chastity's concern, and he wants to kill the pillars, like where the paint is, and actually add more fur going down into the paint. So the pillars now go down into the paint, which I love. Love, love, love. I think that it gave it more of that fur that they needed, where it like blended perfectly. So we see Octavio working on the headpiece next, where it doesn't look like cat ears, but it kind of does. He is feeling like Anna has been a little distant ever since the accident, and he is concerned, which she probably is. And I can completely understand. An accident like that, she's really shaken up. Some people just need some time, and it does make them off for a few days. It's not even been, if anything, 24 hours. So she's still shaken up. And I can see where his concern is. And we just love Anna. So poor Anna. Hopefully she is feeling much better. I know it's been a lot longer since then, but I just hope she's feeling better mentally about it. Christian goes over to Christina, who is now sewing, and he asked her, "Have you changed anything?" And she says no. She tells us that she went to an art school that taught her the biggest lesson is to go with your instincts and your intuition. Christian tells Chantal she is on her own, and Chantal is feeling alone because Christina has immunity. And Chantal wants to respect her as a designer and not create doubt, but she is worried about the possibility of leaving, which she has every right to. So then Christian goes over to Bones and Aaron. And the collar just decides to fall down as Christian is going over there. And Christian questions how they are going to make it stay up. So as Bones goes looking around to find something to help make it stay up, he finds some paint stirrers, but Aaron is hand tacking it still. So Bones brings over these paint stirrers and says this could really help it hold up. Aaron says no, it just needs to be tacked to the shoulders more, and it will stay up. Bones is nervous, and I'm nervous too. And it feels like he has no say or input. Bones and Aaron sit down to talk about it, and he just feels like Aaron is being a little too set in his ways. And he is telling him Bones is telling Aaron that he's a psych major and he just knows it's going to collapse and he's worried about it, which he has every right to be. So Aaron's like, I need to step outside. So he steps outside to cool down and talks to Prajay and says the top got heavier with the leather and he feels like Bones is now trying to stick sticks in there and reinvent the wheel. Aaron tells us that all it needs to be done is to be strapped to her body and it will hold up. But here comes Bones with the paint stirrers, as he says. Prajay tells Aaron they're acting like husband and wife and no one is talking about it. And I agree. Aaron says that he is here to do what he loves and he will be goddamned if someone is going to stop him. And then we have another video for you guys. Yeah. So let me add video number 2 for us. Because I found this freaking so cute and incredible. And I had to. We have to show these amazing things. So Let's add it to the stream. I'm going to lower the volume just a bit because I know there is some music.
All right, bitches. Bow down to the prince. Where are my flower petals?
Yeah,
I come
baby.
to Queens to find my bride. Jesus.
Coming to America, guys, the movie. It's real life
I mean, the headpiece is
Friday.
really cool. It just, does this all make sense? Maybe you need shoulder too
Yes.
to balance the thickness.
Yes, baby.
And you got to figure out the skirt.
I don't.
Work it out.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. All right,
I
designers,
didn't realize
that's
it was
it.
so
Say goodbye to
long.
your models.
It went all the way to the floor.
See you tomorrow.
Bye,
Have a
model.
nice night off. I will see you tomorrow for the show.
Thank you, Kristen.
Bye.
Bye, Christian. Thank you.
Oh, let's see.
All right. I had to show Project doing to that coming to America. Like, I come to find my bride. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So, let me get our next slide up there for us. Bye, Christian. I love that face that he's making. So Christian leaves, and we see that Christina is changing the dress. So she is making it 2 pieces, a crop top with the skirt now. She asked on Chantal what she thinks. She is thinking, yes, do it. Loves it too. Go get busy, she says. And we fast forward through them working. And before we know it, there's 15 minutes left to the end of day 2. So, with the 15 minutes left, this is a crazy part. We see Aaron is clearly just as frustrated because the collar is not doing what he wants it to do. And it keeps falling and falling again and again the more he plays with it. And Bones is now at the point where he is frustrated and he tells him it wasn't going to work. And I've been trying to tell you that all day long. Which I agree, he has been. They've been playing with this collar literally all freaking day. So Aaron is now clearly just as frustrated and screams, he quits. Tells Bones that he does this for a living. And there was a reason he didn't put anything hard in there, because it does that. Everybody is looking. And I mean everybody. I'm looking like Project over here. Like, and just watching like, oh, shit is about to go down. So Aaron continues with his screaming, but you couldn't listen because Bones is always right. That's Aaron. Bones yells, what? We have 15 minutes left and you're about to leave now? How unfortunate. And we see Aaron grab his bag, flip it, and walk out. So, 15 minutes goes by. And as we see them leaving, there's Bones going, what? But as they are leaving, we see a man in a mask with a colored light, disco ball spinning, and some empty glasses. It's a bartender for them to have a few drinks. We see Aaron walking back towards the group. Everyone is happy. They're cheersing. They're just relaxing. After the stress of the accident and everything else, this is much needed for all of them. And Chantal is happy to party a little bit because she is super stressed, which I do have this video clip for us to check out. I love Bones's like rave vibes, so I had to include this video for us. So let me remove this and let me add the video for us to watch. I'm so excited. I would love to go to New York and go party with you, Bones. Just saying. Not that far away. Call me, babe. All right, so here is the video. And I know there's going to be some music, so I'm lowering the volume.
What's happening?
Oh, I hate when it does this. And this is why I don't use Chrome, guys. So I'm back. I don't know. My computer froze, guys. So, of course, let me add this video. Hopefully I can edit that little part out for you guys. If not, I am so sorry. The video, it's every time I load up a video for you guys, StreamYard likes to freeze on me. But we're going to try this again. So, I'm going to lower the volume, add to stream. Let's do this.
What's happening?
It's been so long since I see a bartender. Cheers.
Hell yes.
To finish it.
After the car accident and everything that happened, I know everybody is so tired, but right now, I will definitely like to party.
We see Aaron walking back.
So much cutting today. Literally so tired today.
Now, this is a very, very, very important part. Okay?
I bet you're so tired, right? Like after Christian came and you thought you knew everything, but you
my
clearly
God.
didn't? Come the on, dude.
What, Aaron?
Or the fact that you have no clue what you're doing.
You want to do this right now?
We can do this right now.
I don't want to. I'm not going to give you that time.
This argument is a little bit too much.
Like, why out of, like, Bones was just making a comment. It was a 12-hour long freaking day. And I know Aaron is still mad. So he's still kind of fuming inside when he comes back over. But it's like, bite your tongue. There's no need for this. No need. And of course, I press play. And it doesn't play. Let's try play again.
Things can be so.
There we go.
Better way.
I understand totally. You too.
Like
being working this hard.
Yeah.
Like just respect the effort. from each one in the team.
Let's just have a conversation, have a communication.
You can't send
Exactly.
a girl down the runway with the f***ing board up her ass, and that's literally what
Oh
you did.
my God.
But my point is, you didn't know what you were doing.
No, my point is you were rude and disrespectful.
My point is, nobody gives a bitch.
Clearly
You know
don't.
what's disrespectful?
Clearly you don't.
Unfinished hymns down a
Clearly
goddamn
you don't.
runway.
What unfinished hymns did I sing?
Did you?
Whoa. Time out. Why are you bringing up something that has nothing to do with this challenge with you two as a team? You are talking about his unfinished hymns from a previous challenge that you weren't in a team with him on? That right there is a low blow. And I get that he's upset. Don't get me wrong. I still like Aaron. I get that he's upset. But that is a low blow. And I'm sorry, Bones. I protect my bones, man. That is just wrong. You guys are working together. Don't bring up something that happened about his being a designer, because he is doing a damn good job and so are you. You guys just need to work together. Everyone's thinking what I'm thinking. Let's just say that. They're all thinking what I'm thinking. Like, whoa, why are you bringing this shit up?
See your look last week?
That was design.
Shut up.
No,
for a
I
minute.
won't shut up. You need to get whatever's on your sad little heart out right now.
How about
and
Yes.
tomorrow? And tomorrow, let it be good.
So
Let
how
it be f***ing good.
No, I don't like you say that, like, no dirty words.
I'm gonna say
but he
any
said
dirty words that I
bitch.
want to say because he
Okay,
just
and then
said it. Right? It's
Aaron,
always when the black motherfucker do it. Do you see what I'm saying?
See, and here we go.
You see
White
what I'm
privilege.
saying?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Just lame.
When the black
Aaron!
motherfucker sitting here calling me all kinds of bitches, but I'm the one who gets called.
I thought
Take your tie-dye and
Bones
go.
was very respectful with saying, let what is ever out in your heart out now and let it be done with. Let it be done with so that they can move on and work together. I thought that was perfect. I agreed with him on that. And it just felt so unnecessary. Like, they're both screaming at each other. They're both calling each other names. And Anna, yes, she probably didn't think, bitch is not as bad as the F-bomb, and maybe her sense of the mind. She doesn't like any dirty words, but he is absolutely right. Aaron was sitting there calling him a bitch, bitch, bitch right there before that point. And he is trying to tell him, let what is ever out in your freaking heart right now so we can get this out and over and done with and move on. Communication is key. I will give that to Anna. People need to communicate. Sometimes, if two of you are both worked up and very emotional, you kind of need to separate for a little bit of time, which Aaron did leave for 15 minutes and he came back raging. So that I didn't quite understand. And they looked like they had a couple drinks before that conversation too. So why did it need to keep going? Relax, breathe, learn to clear it out and try to talk. I know I have my own issues. I'm not one to be giving advice, but I have also learned from my mistakes. And I know that when I am heated like that, I need to zip, move, take a breather, and not say a thing, because it's only going to get my ass in trouble, just like it's going to get Aaron's ass in trouble. Just saying. So we see now it is the next day after all of this going on. And we finally see that Aaron is waking up. Others are getting ready. Zayden, who calls his mom, they're on a video chat, which I found so cute and so inspirational. He is brought to tears as he sees her And they talk about how the last challenge he was at the bottom and how he feels like he isn't being seen or his talent isn't being seen. And his mom reassures him that he is very talented, that it will show, and not to doubt yourself. He talks about how his partnership with Coral has been really good and that he hopes that the design can save them both and speak for themselves. And his mom is just so, so, so very proud of him. And it was so great to see this interaction with him and his mother, and just how amazing that his mom is pushing her child. No matter how old you get, your mother will always be there to keep pushing you. We then see Bones and Aaron in the kitchen. So Bones is eating. Aaron is there as well, preparing something to eat. And literally out of nowhere, Aaron asks Bones, "Hey, do you have a hair dryer?" Bones is like, "Wait, what?" I kind of did the wait, what too. Don't worry. I was like, wait, did he really just ask if he had a hair dryer? Aaron tries to explain the reason he is asking is because it's easier to heat the fur, and Bones is just like, nope, I'm going to shut this down. And he's like, I don't want to have this conversation right now. Like, so we are at that point left without knowing if they ended up discussing it and bringing the hair dryer, because the next thing we see is them at the workroom. And I kind of want to know, did they, I should have asked Bones today, did you bring the hair dryer? But anyways, so we see the workroom. They have 3 hours before the runway, and we see Coral telling Zayden that she is going to cut the sleeves, and then we see Prajay and Chastity hard at work, finishing their design, gluing the extensions to the pillar into the art, and before we know it, Christian arrives and lets them know that their models will be there soon. So, it's time to work, 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 work. Yes, baby. We see Bones and Aaron together, and they are stitching the corset. And Aaron said teamwork makes the dream work, which it does. But he also says it also brings out the best and worst as well. Sometimes. They are actually having a nice civil conversation. And Bones tells him that he wasn't coming at him yesterday, that he respects his work, and he would never blow up at him like that. And he just asks if Aaron can respect him the same. And if he felt some kind of way, all he needed to do was just to talk to him. And I agree. Aaron explains that yesterday he felt like he spent all morning building something, and he felt that that's my life's work. That's my love. That's what I really know how to do. And it just, to him, all the wrong ways. It just hit him all the wrong ways. Bones tell him, unfortunately, white men always get the chance to react first later, and black men don't get to do that, which is so true. If they react, they're looked at as the bad guy. So what he is trying to tell Aaron is to think first, then process, which Aaron says for that he apologizes and he didn't handle it well, and he tries to usually handle it well. Bones tells us he isn't there to fight people. He just wants to kind of move on. The judges don't need to see the struggle to make this look happen. Thank you, baby. Thank you. So then we see Christian asking Octavio, who is there on the floor, and Anna, what they're making now. Octavio says, Rihanna Vogue, which Christian asks if they're going to bring it together to make it fabulous. And Anna is trying to stitch the ruffles to the shoulder, so she feels like she is really struggling today. She usually would hand sew this, but instead she is using a staple gun. Oh, poor Anna girl. Christian sees and comments, staple gun? Question mark. Anna tells him, well, it's like a glue gun. Which she is right. It's kind of like a glue gun. And he kind of looks and walks away saying, staple gun. Oh, staple gun. So at this point, we have hit the 2-hour mark until runway, and everyone is busy getting their designs done. Christian is concerned that the model might not be able to walk, but Chastity reassures him she will be able to walk, and he tells her he loves it. So do I. Chastity tells us she wants the model to walk slow to take the look in. Christian also tells her, for her information, he would really make that look great, and that he would look amazing wiggling that waist, baby, down the runway. And he would give it to you. Oh, I loved it. So next thing though, we see the models coming in, and we are at the 1 hour until runway, which that's crazy. 1 hour until runway. They got to get their looks done. They got to first set the models, make sure it fits, do their last minute touches, then put the models in. It's a lot. It's a lot. 1 hour? Gosh. We hear Christian say, if that collar does not stay up, the look is over. And Bones tells Aaron he is doing a lot of thinking, which I agree he was. So Bones grabs some of those paint stirrers and he starts putting them in that collar. You can hear Christian go, oh yeah. And they start hot gluing those paint stirrers in. Christian comments, that helps, right? And they agree it does. And he tells them, more of those all up in there. And they get busy doing what Bones knew they needed to do. Bones, I just want to say, I think you're amazing for not continuing to argue, because that shows who you are and it makes you the bigger man. You did the right thing by not being like, I told you so. Which, believe me, we were all thinking that. We were all thinking that. Christian then heads over to Anna and Octavio and asks no more of the boots. And they say, no, no more. We actually took them. We made and added the patent leather into the design. Octavio says they are rushing hand sewing, which he never does. Sometimes you gotta hand sew. I don't know any designer that doesn't sometimes hand sew. So that's weird. Especially when it's like a hard fabric that you sometimes can't use a sewing machine. But anyways, they took the bottom and recycled it into the design, and it took the last 4 yards of the cheetah fur that they had, and they are draping it, but they are running out of time and fabric. Christian then asks Zayden and Coral if they are going to put the collar up, which they explain to him that they are putting it up. He tells them it has to be avant-garde and it has to be a bit off, and he doesn't know he just doesn't know. Like he's trying to like think what can make this a little bit better for them. Zayden tells us that they have to knock this out of the park. They are so close. And I agree. They are so close. So they start adding the macrame pieces and straps, and Christian is starting to love it. He suggests letting the pieces hang since now it's a short dress and it's finally coming together amazingly. Zayden tells us that they decided to go with the harness made from buckles and the macrame, and they are really going in. It's a great teamwork. And then Zayden adds the headpiece, and Christian thinks it is just so very cool. Christina and Chantal are very busy getting their last minute things done. Christian comes over and goes, "What is happening? What is happening?" Chantal shows him the reveal and is telling the model what she needs to do as she goes down the runway to sell this design. Because it is like a 40-pound coat, she's trying to say. It looks heavy as hell. I don't know, 40 pounds, but that's heavy. And you got to sell that look and walk too. So Christian tells them when they are ready, it is time to send their models to the Maybelline makeup studio and the Tresemme hair salon. This is what I mean. So they got to try the outfits on, do the last minute preparations, still send the models to the hair and makeup, which I know they have a team to do this, but hair and makeup takes a minute too. That's like much more than I feel in an hour, but oh my gosh. So they send, the models to the studio and get their hair and makeup done. They're getting beautified, ready. Before we know it though, there is 15 minutes until the runway. And we see Bones and Aaron. The collar is finally standing up. Christian is excited, and Bones tells us there was a whole lot of time from yesterday and today wasted if he had just listened to him. But at the end of the day, Bones is just happy to see it's working and doesn't want to tell him, "I told you so," which I, like I said, appreciate and respect because it makes Bones look like the bigger man in all of this. And I will say it for you, babe. He told you so, Aaron. Come on now. I had to. Oh my God. Like, I get if it wasn't as big of a collar as you were going, it might have stayed up. But you made that collar big and beautiful, avant-garde. Yes, you were going to need something to make that stand up. So before we know it, there is 5 minutes left. Everyone is hustling, getting those things ready for their final look backstage. So they are all backstage, getting their final touches on their designs, fixing last minute issues. And we see Christian like looking at their model, Christina's model, and Chantal's model, thinking that there needs to be more. Like they had no like accessories. So he's like, "Hey, Christina, maybe you can give her your earrings." And she gives the model her earrings. So now it is time for our runway, guys. It's runway time, which I really hope these videos don't like skip. That's why I was like hoping the PowerPoint would actually work with the videos. But right now, StreamYard is not supporting that at the moment. It's very new, these slides, which I'm loving. I hope you guys are loving how smooth these slides are running through. So let's get our first peek at the runway, and I really, really hope that it doesn't skip through for us, guys. So here is part 1. I'm going to lower the volume just a little bit and add to stream.
Hello.
You guys look incredible.
Thank you. As you can see, Brandon isn't with us today. He's at his brother's wedding, but we're incredibly lucky to have joining us my friend, fellow Colombian, world-renowned designer, Esteban Contestant.
Hi guys.
Woohoo!
Pleasure to be here. Good luck to you all.
And of course, your guest judge, Emmy, Grammy, Tony, award-winning, and fashion icon, the king of avant-garde, Billy Porter.
Yay! I'm so excited. I was so excited to see Billy Porter. And I was thinking for a minute, I was like, where the frig is Brandon when they first walked out? I was like, wow, 2 guest judges? That doesn't happen. But you know, you got to go to your brother's wedding. I know. I had my brother's wedding this year, so I had to go to it. So understandable. So here we see our Billy Porter, guys.
Billy Porter is avant-garde. I hope he
Love
likes
that
Roseanne
tuxedo look.
artwork. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if he does not.
Don't worry,
so
girl.
Excited to be here, and I just can't wait to see what you guys have come up with.
Let's start the show.
Okay, so we are going to do this one at a time. That is how I set it up, so they can't get mad at me either. So, our first runway look, let me grab that video for us, is Chastity and Project. It is the first one down the runway. So let's remove this. Let's add this. Let's take the music off though, because the music is a copyright issue. But look at this Mimi girl. Oh, she's killing it. I wish I had the music for you guys. Walking nice and slow. Look how beautiful that freaking design is. So when Chastity was talking to Bones today, she was like, how Mimi just gets into it and just goes down the runway. She actually didn't they both didn't tell her like, hey, do this, do that. Because you'll see in a minute, like she stops, she twirls right here. But at the end of the runway, she kind of does that dip. That was all Mimi, baby. That was all Mimi. Mimi felt that design and worked her freaking magic. This is my favorite, pause right there. I love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So that was their look. I'm going to add this to the stream so we can look at it real quick. I've been loving, like I said, I've been loving their design since the moment that I seen the preview. And I was just like, I wonder who made this. And I'm happy to know that it was Chastity and Project because this was a killer design. It's amazing. I see the pillar of strength. I see the art. The fur together is just so very avant-garde. It's freaking incredible. Incredible. I love it. I do. This is definitely a top design for me. I think Mimi as the model too freaking killed it. She did. She helped make that design look fantastic. Fantastic. So, we're going to remove this. We're going to go to the next, which I'm going to music. It's Coral and Zayden. Oh, I love those shoes too. Giving it a little bit of neon. Beautiful, dude. So beautiful. They're like, yeah, she's killing it. And you could tell that she felt the design too, because she was walking and strutting like she was it, girl. Love it. I love the cage too, because she just moves her head and it's like an optical illusion in a way. And it goes all the way down to the buckle area. Look at that turn. I'm definitely adding that turn into our intro. Do that turn with the music. Oh, yes, baby. That is beautiful. Beautiful. So that was Zayden and Corals, which these were the pictures that one was on the Bravo network and the other. So I will link down below. It was on an Instagram page. Nick, what's his name? Last name? Nick Varios. I don't know. He's a fashion designer. He's the co-chair of the Fashion Institute and spokesperson of FIDM. He's an author, he's a YouTuber, and he's part of Project Runway. So he does a lot of behind the scenes photographs of these episodes. So he had, honestly, he had much better photos than the Bravo Make Your Choice area. So I had to include his photos. But his Instagram will be linked below, so that way you guys can check out all the behind the scenes of Project Runway that we love to see. But look at how amazing this is. I love their concept. I love their design. I think it just started coming and coming and coming as they put more and more and more into it. The only thing I really didn't like, I thought like they could have maybe like put the sleeves on, but I understand it's kind of like it's like a cage. So I get that. I just thought from seeing it over here on this side that it looked cool, and then the other side you could kind of see that it wasn't sewn. Love the buckle, love the harness, love the whole concept. It's very avant-garde and beautiful. Love the macrame, everything. Everything. Loved it. So, next we have Christina. What? Christina and Chantal's runway look. It's very, I don't know. It's not one of my favorite looks. I will say that. I love the patchwork. The patchwork was amazing. I love the whole thought of the quilted dress. I just don't think they go well together. I don't see it very avant-garde. There needs to be more of a wow. Avant-garde is just like, I see the concept. I don't see this flower that they're trying to say. Like she opens up and it's a flower. It more looked like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon when she kind of like opened it up and it was like her wings kind of thing. That's how I saw it more than a like flower. So let's remove this, add this so we can see it. And this, so the picture on the left is from Nick's Instagram. The picture on the right is from the Bravo website. See how much Nick's pictures are better? But this, like I said, the patchwork, amazing job. That is not easy to patch the patchwork. It's not easy to do quilting either. Those are two very ambitious things that they did with this design. I do agree there. I just don't think that it went very well together. I think one of the judges was like, well, the lining, like, I didn't see like why it needed to connect. Cause that, like I said, made it look like a butterfly, not really like a flower opening up. I liked that they did the crop top and the skirt. I think that was a great idea that they went with instead of a full dress because it actually showed her figure. But they could have just lined it with the pink and not quilted it, I think. Or they could have like, I don't know. I just felt there was just too much quilting into it. And it wasn't as avant-garde. Like there needed to be more. Like I don't know. I think Christina got really lucky. Really, really lucky. She got immunity. And I kind of felt like Chantal, like, I know she wanted to respect her as a designer, but at that point, you knew she had immunity. And girl, you could have spoke up just a little bit. I don't know. It's cool. It's just not for me. Fashion is in the eye of the beholder. So we'll just say that. Next, though, we have Octavio and Anna's design. So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to add this. Yes, girl. Oh, I love how beautiful she looks. She is just killing it in that cheetah print. Love it. The puffer sleeves. I'm not like, I get like when you're like wanting to be like a cheetah, you want like, you know, the arm sleeves and just, it's very avant-garde. It's avant-garde for sure. I think Anna was going through a lot and I'm glad they went with this instead of that balloon skirt that she had going on. I think the shortness of it was beautiful. I loved it. I love the patent leather with the cheetah print. I don't know. I like this. I do. I really do like this. I don't think it was their best work. I think they could have, you know, if they had more time, they would have killed this for sure. And if the accident didn't happen, I think they would have actually done well. But it was good. It was definitely, I hate to say it, better than Christina and Chantal's design. This definitely, I can see why it was in the bottom, but definitely not a send home kind of bottom. So that was, like I said, the one to the left is Nick's Instagram and the one to the right is Bravo. See, Nick gets some really, really good freaking photos. I will give him that. And of course, we have last but certainly not least at all in my eyes, we got Bones and Aaron's look. Totally Game of Thrones. I love how she like was flapping the fucking dress too as she was going down. Oops, I swore. I love how she was flapping it open. Oof. I love that corset. I think that corset is so freaking cool. I love the jewelry, the hair, everything made that look. I love it. It was killer, for sure. I think if they had more time, they could have added like where the see-through is in the back piece. They could have added some of that leather like design work that they did. They could have added that through the see-through area. I think they could have added some of that if they had time. But I love it just the way that it is. It's freaking amazing. It's beautiful. I'm so glad that that collar did not flop over. It gave that like cave woman, queen, bridal. Yes, I am like cave woman, luxury, Game of Thrones vibes. For sure. For sure. Loved it. Definitely can see why it was on the top as well. Now, we have, of course, judges' comments towards the winners and who is on the bottom. So let me add that in. We're going to take this off the screen. And we're going to add this.
So let's start by discussing our 3 favorite teams and pick our favorite.
You know, I really love Bones and Aaron's look. I'm a Game of Thrones lover, but I really do feel like it's Prajay and Chastity and Zayden and Coral.
I completely agree, Billy.
Avant-garde and fashion in general is so subjective.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes picking a winner today so challenging, because both of these are really well executed looks.
All 3 were very educated looks. That's why it made it hard to pick a winner. Their concepts all stood out, like being trapped in a cage, like that concept like stood out. Pillars of strength and the art and the artistry, all of that stood out. Just all 3 of them were on the top, and it was just hard for me to even pick one that I really loved, though I will say I was a little biased towards the pink outfit that Project and Chastity made, because I've been seeing that since the previews and been dying since day one, knowing Project Runway was coming back to see that. Yeah, I'm a little biased. I love it. Love it even more now that I see it.
They're both looks Billy Porter would wear.
Both of them. You know, I love Project and Chastity because of the elegance. I like
Very
the
elegant.
juxtaposition a lot. And I have to say that Zayn and Coral is quite striking, and there's a modernity to it.
With
Yes.
Satan and Coral, there is something a little more commercial to it.
Yes.
Whereas with Chastity and Project, it's really art in motion, like they said.
They're both
And
not.
for
They're
me,
both
it's
not
the
commercial.
Closest to an avant-garde design.
It's really difficult.
Like, you think that the harnesses and the buckles is commercial? I don't think so. They're both, all three of them are very avant-garde. Just saying. I didn't get that
a
comment.
faux fur gown and make it be refined and elegant.
I would have to say Project and Chastity.
But Zayden and Coral. Coral's inspiration and her message about feeling put in a cage by society struck me. For them to translate that sense of inferiority into one of the best looks that we've seen in an avant-garde challenge.
I mean, their work is really on another level.
Yes.
It is.
I mean, this artistry, the macrame, for her to weave.
There was both forms of art in both of those two top that they had. You had Project's art that was absolutely amazing. I would love for him to make me something on a canvas just so I can hang it up, like, because I love tapestries, so I can see that on like a tapestry and be like, odd. That could be like my backdrop for YouTube. Project, I need to hit you up. Make me a backdrop for YouTube. How cool would that be, guys? Oh my god, I would love it. But they were both, the macrame is art, the whole buckles trapped in the cages art. They were both very artistic. And go. I always press play and it doesn't play right away. And go.
That into this
There
design
we go.
and marry it so beautifully with Zayden's signature touch with the buckles.
harness,
I felt like
yes,
they
the buckles.
worked so well together to execute this really personal message.
But it's a coat, so it's easier to do a faux fur coat.
How are you going to say it's easier to do a coat than a
With that
gown?
said, the four of them are winners. I mean, they did an incredible job.
The six of them are winners. 6.
All right, so let's discuss who should go home.
Oh, so hard.
So Christina has immunity, so we have to take her off the table. So it's between Chantal, Anna, and Octavio.
With as confused as I am with Anna and Octavio, it was confusing.
Yes.
And while it is not the greatest, there are great things about it. There was something.
And I agree. There are great things about Anna and Octavio's design. I loved the headpiece, loved the dress, loved all the patent leather in it. Like I said, it definitely, out of all, what was there? 5 of them? Yeah, definitely you have to have 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And yes, I agree it should not be the very, very bottom, but I can see why they don't feel as avant-garde as all the others. But it's very avant-garde, though. I think Anna was just off.
Edgy and playful and fun about it that I responded to.
Anna really, like, do the judges know that she got into a car accident? Do they know this?
That are like out there, and this was so quiet.
It feels more like a fluke. It feels like a bad day, and based on their body of work, that this was a bad day.
But is that fair? You can have a bad day, but at the end of the day, you know, this is a competition. So I don't know.
But they had a bad day. That's why I was like, do these judges know
That's all.
that
Like, I
they
didn't
got
understand
into a
anything
car
about it.
accident?
I don't know who's
because they had a bad day. It takes way longer than 24 hours to come out of, like I said, that like bubble that you feel like you're in. And then like yes, the impact, your body tenses up. So you are feeling even more pain 2 days after an accident than you would that day or the next day. So it's a lot. Like, do they know that they like Anna was like almost scaffolded by a scaffolding through the window? Because that makes me feel like they didn't know that.
Wearing that where they're going. I wish there was a cat suit underneath.
A cat suit would have been.
That would have sold it.
Yes.
A cat suit
It's
underneath.
hard because Chantal made the code and Christina has immunity.
And the coat is the better part of that
Don't
look.
mind this.
It's not the inside.
Christina got lucky.
I was
today.
screen recording and I got a notification. Sorry, guys. So, I have the next part, which is where they talk a little bit more about the bottom. Let me add that in for us. So, before we play that, though, I have our looks. So, here are the top. We got Bones and Aaron. We got Coral and Zayden. And we got Prajay and Chastity. I think these are beautiful. All three of them. Boom, bang, bing. Top. These are my 3 top as well. Now, if I had to pick one, like I said, I was a little biased. I like Prajay and Chastity's because I've been seeing that since the very season premiere preview and been dying to see that. Avant-garde, I would wear probably the Game of Thrones one. Love that one. I can see myself wearing that. But I think all 3 of them were freaking killer looks. Killer looks. They all pushed it for sure, this challenge. I do understand Anna was off and it did throw a lot of people off. So I'm going to throw up the bottom 2, but we'll bring these back up. These are the 2 bottom. This is the order I have them in. Of course, I don't think this should be at the very bottom. And I did pick for Chantal and Christina to be at the bottom. Now, unfortunately, Christina has immunity. So that means it would be Chantal going home. Do I feel like she should have gone home? No. I would have picked Christina because the patchwork looks great. That takes a lot. So does the quilting. I get that. But out of all of it, I felt like Christina should have been the one to go home. But unfortunately, you can't because she has immunity. And I think that's a very hard choice for the judges.
Who should go home?
Oh, so hard.
So Christina has immunity, so we have to take her off the table.
We did see this part a little bit. We have to skip forward just a bit.
Responded to.
But it was so subdued for them. They are the designers that are like out there, and this was so quiet.
It
I
feels
didn't
more
realize
like
I'm
like a
sorry,
bad
guys.
day,
I
and
thought
based
that
on
I
their
separated
body
the
of work that this
2,
was
and I
like.
didn't realize that I included it.
You
in the
can
other
have a bad day, but at the end of the day, you know, this is a.
So it looks like we've seen all of this. Let's just make sure.
That would have sold it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I separated the 2 and I kept the bottom with the top. So yes, we've seen all of what the judges have to say. So unfortunately, the judges were thinking the same thing as me. They really didn't want to have to send Chantal home, but out of these 2 looks, this was the worst. And Christina had immunity. So that means, unfortunately, Chantal has to go. I mean, they could have maybe, I don't know if they questioned them. They don't show everything, obviously. But like I said, I don't feel like they realized that Anna was off. Like, Anna had a bad day. Anna went through a lot with that car accident. Like, I don't know. I felt a little bit that they were kind of biased with Octavio and Anna in a sense too. Because like I really didn't, not that I don't like the puffer sleeves, but I don't see where the puffer sleeves fit in. That's what kind of makes it that avant-garde is the puffer sleeves, because it's the outrageous part. But I don't know. It was definitely a hard pick for sure. So Chantal is chosen to go home, and she goes to say her goodbyes to everyone. She says she's okay, that, you know, Christina did her best. She doesn't feel like it's anyone's fault. She isn't angry with her. It's just the way things work. She has immunity. She tells Christina not to feel bad. She gives her a big hug and tells her we make decisions sometimes that are good and sometimes they are not so good, and that she is a great designer. She tells us this moment cannot define her as a designer, as a human being, or anything. And I agree. This is where Christian comes in. And as soon as I saw Christian coming in, I freaking knew it. Let's just say. And says to Chantal, she isn't going anywhere. And then he just goes, Siriano save. Everyone is happy and cheering. Christina gets up and goes over and gives her a big hug. Christian tells her she is so talented. She has a lot more to show. She has a real business she is trying to save, and we are going to save it, he says. But now he tells her that she has to work really hard and not to let him down. She feels so touched that he gave her the second opportunity, and it means so much to her. And we end this episode on a happy note. Yay! But before we go, I have a couple more things to discuss with you guys. So, I have some behind the scenes. This is from Nick's Instagram as well. So Nick Varios' Instagram. He was showing off all the beautiful fur that they had choices of. And I was just like amazed at just how. So there was just so many pops of color. There was a lot of the cheetah print, the coyote, the leopard, but then we see like the red, the maroon, another coyote, and then you see the pink, the purple, the hot pink, the light pink, the medium pink, the purple, the really pink, the cranberry color. And then we can see some more here. And the cheetah. This is the company that makes the fur right there. Siriano. So it's a plant-based full fur. Definitely check out Siriano if you are a designer, because that looks so cool. And then here's the set with all the beautiful colors and fur and amazingness. And then we have some info about next week. So next week, 12/9/2021, it will air, and it is called Couch Couture. That week, the designers are going to be challenged to solve one of fashion's internal struggles. Can comfort really be chic? But there's nothing comfortable about designing for a one-day challenge with a surprise workroom visit from season 19's winner, Jeffrey Mack, and pop legend, Cyndi Lauper. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. One-day challenge. Oh my God, that's insane. So these are going to push them to their limits. And something that is couch couture. So it has to be comfy, but also chic. This is definitely going to be an interesting challenge, and I am all about it. I cannot wait for this because I would love something I could just, wear out, beautiful, stunning, I'm gorgeous, and then, get on my couch. kick my legs up, which I'm doing right now. You can't see me. And just relax after a long night of looking fabulous. So I cannot wait to see what these designers have that they are going to bring it. And unfortunately, our contestant board stays the same next week because no one went home. But I will make a little note on Chantal's photo that she got the Siriano save, which is important. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And I'm sorry that this is coming out late. I had issues, you know how things are. Nothing can ever go right. Come on, guys. So last night I was trying so hard to get onto StreamYard to do this, which I'm kind of glad we didn't have to go live because StreamYard was giving me such an issue. It kept like circulating and circulating and wouldn't let me like get on there. So I ended up not being able to get on StreamYard. I contacted the StreamYard help. They didn't really help me much at all. But that's okay. That's okay. So I decided to get up early. I listened to the Instagram live that Bones did with Chastity, and I said, let's freaking do this. So now the video has to process, they have to check, and all of that. Hopefully, I can get this out to you very soon. But I love you all. Thank you all for coming. I promise you, though, now that I know that what I have to do, the slides, all of that, things are getting easier. And by the time the season is over, I will have this down pat for you guys. It'll get easier for all of us. And I promise I am working harder each time to make this better for you guys, every shape of the way that I can. I'm sorry that sometimes the video skips. That is just StreamYard being a jerk, but I'm trying to figure that out. I wish that they would allow the slides to have videos, but they have not. They just added the slides to StreamYard, so they're still working out those kinks as well. But this was a great episode. I'm kind of happy that no one went home, especially with the whole car accident and everything going on. I think it was important for Aaron and Bones to have that interaction with each other because people need to understand that it's not easy for a black man or a black woman in that sense coming up, because even Chastity said it today on the Instagram live. What if she was that girl that just, blew the roof? She would be looked at as the crazy black girl. And this is what society does. They put labels on people by their skin color, and we cannot do that. And I just want people to understand that that's why I wanted that clip in there, because Aaron was off his rocker and Bones was on the same level at that point. He got pushed to that point because Aaron stepped away for 15 minutes and he came back still upset. And no one said anything to Aaron, but they said something to Bones. And Bones had every right to say what he had to say. We need to have these conversations. We need to have these conversations. And I will keep saying that. We need to have these conversations. So I'm glad that Project Runway showed it. I think it was a little edited, a little too, but I also do know that Bones and Aaron aren't really speaking, and Aaron put out an apology, and Bones is like last in the apology, which I find that very disrespectful. And they've had all these months to discuss this, knowing that this was going to come out and happen, and they should have had a different conversation. That's just how I feel. Bones, stand your ground. I understand, honey. Do what you gotta do, babe. Chastity, Prajay, loved. I can't believe you are the two that made it. I mean, I can believe it, but it's amazing. I loved it. I've been loving it since the preview. I'm so happy that Chastity got immunity for next week. She is a 2-time immunity winner. Bones is a 2-time winner. Go, you guys. I love you too. And I hope everyone has a wonderful tongue-tied, a wonderful rest of their weekend. And I will see you guys for sure on Friday, because as soon as this is done airing Thursday night, I'm getting to work busy for you loves. Love you all. and have a wonderful weekend.